Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? This is mute. Why does everything look so different? Hey, Check Lord. I can hear you. Good. I can't hear anything at all. But I guess it doesn't really matter because by myself. Hopefully not for long. Hey, two crazy cats. Hey, Bradley. Hey, cupcakes for Lily. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about. So we will probably be talking a little after the hour. So I hope you guys can all stay. Hello. Sherry, hello. Cece, Bigzilla, hello. So excited. Lots of fun. I don't know if they're fun things to talk about, but definitely things to talk about. Can I wait for the show? I don't know. Maximus Bump, can you wait for the show? I don't know. It is being recorded, so it will be on later tonight. Oh my gosh. Hey, Giselle. Weird. My screen is black. Rebooting. Okay, reboot. We'll wait for you. John. Hey, hi. It's Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. Oops. Thanks for becoming a fan, emo girl. Miss Shyman Cougar. Hey. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Redheaded Michelle. Hey, guys. We're going to get started in just a minute. We've got a pretty good agenda going. Okay, so you guys voted and you said we were going to discuss a little bit about like the Apple Watch versus the Fitbit. So I can't wait to hear that. I know also Giselle has some important points she wants to do with that. So we'll wait for her to reboot. And then we're going to talk about Stephen Avery and the trial and Fox News and Judge Janine Shapiro, or whatever, I forgot her last name. Just had her special on this week. Lots to talk about with that. We're going to talk about the latest news. I know some of you have watched it already. You guys have kind of taken my lead as far as, watching that. It's a far bit from reality shows, but it is reality. It's really happening. So, yeah. Maximus Mohai. My gosh, good audience, guys. Thank you, Trek Lord, for the 50 likes. We like that. What is it? Is it this? Okay. Hi, John. How are you? Hey, Ms. Wendy. I am good. I've got my tea, because, I like to do my tea. I got my little snacks. They're little cookies, but they're like thin cookies, because I'm trying to watch what I'm putting in here in my vessel, because that's all I got. It's my body. That's all I got is my body. Awesome. So let's do a quick. I'm gonna pose for a picture so you guys can invite people. So use this button right down here and click on it and invite people to the broadcast. I always like posing. And invite your friends to the show, especially if they're watching the Stephen Avery thing. Also, too, since this is my fan show, because, Eric has his own on Fridays. On Wednesdays, Eric and I are together talking all things Bravo and all things anything that you guys want. And then, of course, Thursday, we've got Jason coming back for another BB UK update, Celebrity Big Brother update, who has done a fantastic job. Oh my gosh, right? Loved it. I think there was so much traffic with Jason, I got booted out. I was in there typing and saying stuff. I got booted out. I couldn't even get back in. It was crazy. It was crazy. Good. Thank you guys for inviting more people. Yay. Giselle, are you back? I know you had some Fitbit stuff, if I can recall. I don't know. Also, too, with my show, guys, you guys can call in if you want to be a guest. Put yourself up. What's the thing? In the guest queue right here. And I'll bring you on the show. We can discuss it. I would love to hear your thoughts about the Stephen Avery stuff. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Fox news special about it. Oh my gosh. Miss Shyman Cougar, David Bowie, passed away yesterday, I believe, last night. So sad. It's so hard to believe. I've actually been listening to David Bowie all day as I've been working and even preparing for the show. So it is just so shocking. It's so shocking that he's gone. He was wonderful. He did so much for music and everything else, acceptance. Oh, he's going to be so missed. It was definitely shocking, Shelley. Yes. Parawolf, wait, did I miss anything? You haven't missed anything yet. We're going to start talking about the Apple Watch versus Fitbit in like less than a minute. And we're going to go through some of those. I've got some brief notes. I just want to make sure my head is adjusted, my headroom. Good. All right. I want to get comfortable like Wendy Williams does. Okay. Can I get an okay? Megan, so sad, but at least he was left in peace at the end. They kept it quiet. So awesome. I had no idea he was struggling for the last 18 months with cancer, and he's a treasure. He's going to be missed. It's just shocking. Christine, hi John. Do YouNow broadcasters get paid? It does depend on the type of partnership that you have with YouNow. I would go to www.younow.com/partners, I believe, and you can see all of the different levels. I do this for fun, so I don't know all of those numbers and monies and all of that stuff. I just do it for fun, and I love to talk. Wilmu, after I watched the whole documentary, some news reports, I still can't tell if he's guilty or not, and I think he needs a new trial. Milo Moo, we are going to discuss that probably in the next 30 minutes or so. Are you for real, music icon? Yes, Giselle, it is for real. David Bowie has passed away, and it's really, really sad. All right, so I know you guys voted on the topics for today's show. So I briefly kind of want to talk a little bit about the Apple Watch. First, the Fitbit, because this is something that I'm kind of looking into getting. I'm thinking of the Apple Watch because, you know, it's Apple. You've got the apps. You've got all of the stuff. But, you know, actually, my partner has a Fitbit, and he's getting the alerts, and he's getting, I think if someone calls, I can't really remember. But I want to know your thoughts. I know the Apple Watch is a few $100s more expensive. Now, I did some of my own research, and I gotta bring up some of my notes, and I'm sorry about that so I did kind of a comparison, or I found a comparison, I should say, up on the Apple Watch versus the Fitbit Blaze. Have you guys heard of the Fitbit Blaze? Shelley says, I have the Fitbit HR. Human resources? Is there a problem? Does it do more than track fitness? Does it track your whereabouts? Why does HR want to have a band on you, Shelley? Just teasing. So some of them, so like the Fitbit Blaze is about $200. The Apple Watch Sport, which is the one I'm wanting, is about $350. They both have Bluetooth, like the 4.0, so it's the latest and greatest one. They both have the heart rate sensor. They both are water resistant. Both of them get text. Oh, heart rate. Thank you, Giselle. So it's heart rate. So I don't know if maybe there's other Fitbits that don't have the heart rate one. I know the Fitbit Blaze does. So I definitely want the heart rate one, especially as old as I'm getting. So what I'm doing is I found kind of a comparison of them. So they both get text message notifications. Fitbit doesn't have the Apple Pay, but of course the watch does. I don't know. I haven't really used the Apple Pay too much. I don't know if you guys in the chat room, have you guys used the Apple Pay at all? I know one thing that's super popular and that I saw a lot when I was Christmas shopping was the Samsung Pay. And I guess that's a big thing. To me, I think it's similar to the Apple Pay. Bradley says, is this YRR? It is Your Reality Recaps. I'm John Richardson. I'm the other part of Your Reality Recaps. So there's Eric, and there's me, and there's Dana, and there's Jason, and just a whole bunch of other people. And Melissa, our dolphin poet. We got all kinds of people. So I haven't used that too much. The battery life on the Fitbit is 5 days, is what consumers are saying. But I'm tongue-tied. The Apple Watch Sport is 18 hours. So that's not a lot of battery. I'm assuming smile for a pose. Okay, let's just smile for a pose again. Invite everyone. All right. So that's in a long battery life, I'm assuming. You haven't missed anything, Deb. We're talking Apple Watch versus Fitbit. So we're going to get that as more people come onto the show. And then in a little bit, we're going to talk about Steve Avery. Again, so the battery life doesn't seem very long with the Apple Watch because I'm assuming all the apps, just like our phones, right? All the apps are going and all the updates we're getting that, you know, if the battery's not going to last very long. The Fitbit syncs with over 200 iOS, Android, and Windows devices. So you can use it with any device, pretty much, that's on the market. Of course, the iWatch requires at least an iPhone 5 or later, and the iOS 8.2 or later. So you got to have the latest and greatest iOS with Apple, as well as an Apple 5 phone. Oh my God, Miss Dawn Draper, thank you so much for inviting people to this. So what do you guys think? I know I'm still researching this myself. Behind you is okay, so Christine says, John, the screen picture behind you, ooh, scary guy. I flipped the TV channel when he was on. He's not the prettiest to look at, I have to say. It's not. It's not my type. Okay, Christine, I understand. But back to the Apple Watch. I'm thinking I like the Apple Watch, first of all, because I enjoy my iPhone. I enjoy my iPad. I don't mind that it has to toggle with my phone at all. It does all the things that I'm going to do. It tracks my sleep. It's going to track my heart rate. It's going to track my steps. I like the fact that you can use Apple Pay. It's something that I'm starting to kind of want to get into. I'm just nervous. I'm nervous about my credit card numbers. I'm nervous about walking by something with my wrist and I'm paying for everybody, right? Like you're in a store at the mall and ding, 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 ding. That worries me a little bit because I don't want to do that because I don't understand how the Apple Pay thing works. Oh, thank you so much, Randy Hill, 5 likes. Thank you so much, 50 likes. So that makes me nervous, even whether it's the Samsung or the Apple Watch, but I do like that. But I like that some of the apps work. Like I don't know if you guys have heard of Zipcar. So it's not like an Uber where you've got a car and a driver, but it's a Zipcar where you can literally rent the car, find the nearest one next to you, and just rent it and get in the car and go. You can book a Zipcar from your watch. Apple's releasing the iWatch 2 this summer. Oh, so I should wait. What does this mean, accept? I'm going to accept. I don't know. I don't know how this works, Miss Dawn Draper. I hit accept, Miss Dawn Draper, so let me know. I don't know what that did. Accept it. I did accept it. And it's gone. I don't know what happened. Oh, what's going on? Technology has gotten crazy, Shelly says. Absolutely. I know. And it just makes me feel even older because technology is doing it. So I don't know. I mean, I know that like my sister-in-law, my partner, everybody, I guess, can sync and be in like the Fitbit clubs or groups, and you can compete against each other. Nick Nat says the Apple Watch is the bomb. It looks like the bomb, but now I'm on a wait. The iWatch is a little more expensive. I agree with that. 1S Shelley. Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, I don't mind spending a few $100s because I keep things forever. But then again, technology is crazy busy. Miss Dawn Draper, I don't know if you know that maybe are there groups that you can create with the Apple Watch that you can compete against each other. So like if you and I had an Apple Watch, we could compete and work out and see who's doing what and how many steps and all that good stuff. Apple Watch is the bomb like you. Oh, Amanda, you're the bomb. Hello. Oh, as if. My best friend moved. What do I do? Help. Now I'm lonely and I have no one. Trinity, you have us. Okay. So don't be lonely. Don't be blue. Okay. You've got friends everywhere, including here. So hang out with us. Be one of my guests. Call in. You want to talk to someone? Talk to me. I'll talk. Here. Yes, there are apps that will do that, and the hardware lets you share your heartbeat with someone like a text. Well, I kind of like that. My heart's a beating now, and I'm sharing it with all of you. Oh my gosh. You can do that too with the Fitbit. Add friends and compete. Okay, so it sounds like they both can do that. I don't know. I was in Portland a few weeks ago, and I was at the Apple store because I thought, you know what? Portland doesn't have sales tax. So I thought, you know what? If I'm going to buy something that expensive, I don't have to pay sales tax on it. So I'm going to save some money, like even if it's not on sale. So when I went to do that, I was looking in the case because they have the display case at Apple at the different things. And I was like, oh, this one's really nice because it's all with the gold and everything. Okay, lean in a little bit. Did you know that there are Apple Watches? The one I was looking at was $10,000. $10,000. I couldn't believe it, especially how fast. Like I have Sprint, I have iPhone Forever. You know why I have that plan? Because they come out so fast. I need the Forever plan so I can get the latest and greatest stuff. Right? 10,000. I mean, even if I had it, I don't know if I would spend 10,000 on maybe if I won the Powerball, I wouldn't care if the gold. I wouldn't care about spending 10 or 10. Yeah, the gold. I think it was $10,000 or $15,000. I wouldn't care. So yeah, can we talk about the Powerball for like 2 seconds? Oh my god. Oh my face is hot. Okay. Yeah, the Powerball is insane. I can't believe it. Best Buy had them for $100 off the day after Christmas. I saw that. And I went to get the Sport, which is the gold with the blue band. I don't know why I'm showing you my wrist. It's not even on it. And they've been out at my Best Buy. They've been out of stock. So I don't know. I got to look up that sale and see if it's still going on. It probably isn't. Apple does have promotions where they give you money for old equipment. They do, and they're good. And so does Sprint, too. Not that I should be, promoting Sprint, but Sprint's good. It's gotten so much better. I ordered one online. It says, yes, good. I want the Rose Gold iWatch, but it's like $14,000. Yeah, I know. I'm traditional gold. I want gold. I want a grill. I'm not just kidding. But it's way too expensive for, and I don't know if it's just the band. Like, if the watch comes out, what I'm scared about, Miss Dawn Draper, let me tell you, what I'm scared about is that if I get the iWatch and it comes out with a new one, like I want to be able to take the 14 karat gold band with me to clamp on to the new one, right? Like I'm scared I can't do that. And I don't even know if if the casing itself with the watch is 14 karat gold as well. I don't know. Miss Sun Draper, what's going on? You got answers. You got to give us the answers. Who cares? So what? Who cares? Read some of the stuff in the comments. My state has no lotto tax. Still, a 30-year plan is $1 billion. Oh my gosh, Parawolf. No, the Powerball is $1.5 billion as of 6 p.m. After taxes, you will get $806 million. I think I could handle that. Can you imagine if us at Reality Week, if we had that, what shit we would bring you all with us to every live event that we went, because we'd have our own airplane and we would fly around the country to every airport and say, just meet us there. We'll pick you up. There'll be a private limo, private security to escort you to the tarmac where the Your Reality Recaps jet parked. That would be something. We would take you. Blue Love 12, we would take you. Yes. Take y'all. Eric would get a new car. Eric could get a dealership. If I win, taking care of Eric and John 100%. Maximus mom. Oh, you're so, so sweet. I'd buy Eric a car. This is Kathy S. Oh my gosh. Yes. And just make him do things too. Like make him jump through a ring of fire. We could get Eric to do anything we wanted. She's a bad girl. Yes. Thumbs up, everyone. 1,000 likes. Yes, please. We are at 9:20 and we haven't even hit our main subject yet, which we are almost here doing it. Oh my gosh. So yes. So I don't know. I'm still kind of torn. I know. Thank you, Miss Sun Draper. 50 likes. I know my partner has a Fitbit. That kind of makes me want to have one just because then I can compete with him. But then I compete with him with everything else. Do we really need another thing to compete against? Like, we gotta have our own things, people. It helps in a relationship to be a little independent, do your stuff. What's great about him, he doesn't like this stuff. He doesn't like the whole, online shows. He doesn't like reality. He does like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, he does like that. Other than that, no. But yeah, maybe we gotta have different stuff. I don't know. I just think the Apple Watch will look better with my outfits. I don't know. That's where I'm at. So there we go. If you want a longer battery life, you got your Fitbit because it doesn't have all the apps that the iWatch has. You need to get a Fitbit. If you want things to do more things like with apps and getting a zip car from your watch, then the Apple Watch, I guess, is right for you. It really depends on your needs, just like you need a cell phone. Whether it's a Windows phone or an iPhone, it really depends on what you want it to be. All right. Grinder and bareback work on iWatch, says Miss Sun Draper, not on Fitbit. Just saying. Okay, well, all the gays were not all whores, so maybe that would be convincing to some gays, but not this one. This one's a clean teen, okay? This one is one of the reserved gays, okay? Even though I'm in a Wonder Woman shirt. Seriously, though. Seriously. It's crazy. Hello, 68 Smiles. Hello. Tell it, John. Okay, Randy. Okay, girl. We're not all the nasty, okay? All right, I gotta get a haircut. Growing out, looking shabby. All right. So, guys, no one's calling in. Okay, so we're about to start the Stephen Avery stuff. All right. Oh, did you like the Golden Globes last night? Ricky Gervais was so funny, says Maximus Mom. I loved the Golden Globes. I thought Ricky did a fantastic job. I loved the jokes. I loved the jokes with Mel Gibson, all that. I don't like the bleeping. I I get it, it's early in the day. I really think they should put a disclaimer like they do it with American Horror Story. They do it with FX with Fargo. I mean, come on. I'm done. So Kim Kardashian tweeted she played the Saturday Powerball. Oh God, if she wins, if Kim Kardashian wins the Powerball, she has made a pact with the devil. That's what it's going to happen. If that's what she did. Like, there's certain people, you don't know why they're famous. Like, you just think, okay, you know, they've made a pact with the devil, and it's just very obvious. But no, I thought Ricky did a great job. He's got some backlash today. I think it's just funny. Everybody needs to just calm down, just relax. It's just jokes, blah, blah, blah. But I loved the Golden Globes. And, yeah, there's a few series that I didn't know about that I want to definitely check out. Giselle says, loving season 6 of Downton Abbey. Good. It's the final season. Yikes. But I'm excited. I haven't started that yet. But I'm going to as soon as I get the Stephen Avery stuff going. So, okay, guys. So, let's jump back into that because especially when I'm reading your comments, it's easy to get distracted because you guys have the most interesting things to say. Mr. Robot is check it out, Max's mom. It is so good. Okay, see what I mean? Look at me. I'm like squirrel. Yeah, it is really, really good. Mob Wife starts this week. Brandy C, absolutely so excited about that. All right, gotta put my blinders on, people. Gotta put my blinders on. Because I keep wanting, it's the bomb. It really is, Parables. It is the bomb. I love Mr. Robot. You guys got to check it out. You got to do it. It's really, really good acting. Excuse me. Talking. All right, so this is the segment. Hello, Tess. Welcome. We're going to talk about Stephen Avery. I know the last few shows I have been on, I have talked about him. I've talked about the series Making a Murderer, which is on Netflix. If you have it, you can stream all 10 episodes. Basically what it is, it's a documentary. It's not, there's not even actors. It's old footage. If you haven't seen it, it's footage of testimonies. It's court testimonies. I'm going to read this little blurb because once I start talking about it, I start to get too emotional. So I have to read a script because Jackie says, Miss Draper, no spoilers about Downtown. Good, I agree too. No stuff. All right, so Stephen Avery is an American man from Wisconsin who served 18 years in prison for a sexual assault conviction, but was exonerated when DNA analysis pointed to another man. He was released from prison on September 11, 2003. In 2005, Avery was arrested for and later convicted of a murder of photographer Teresa Halbach. Both cases are the focus of the Netflix series Making a Murderer, which is a result in widespread calls to him to be pardoned and released. So that's the gist. If you have not seen the series, take out your stuff. Check out our other shows at yourrealityrecaps.com if you don't want any spoilers. It's not really a whole bunch of spoilers. I guess I kind of just did it. But I guess I should have got my disclaimer ahead of that. But anyway, so that's kind of the gist. So it's been 18 years. That's who this is behind me. Oh, I forgot who said he looks a creepy man. He's, there's footage like this that doesn't make him look great. There's other footage online and in the courtroom where he just kind of looks like this goofy guy. But when you watch the documentary, you see that, it really wasn't fair. There really was stuff happening. And I know that you can kind of twist it and have it to where, it can be a little one-sided. And I get that. And I'm not saying that isn't the case with the Netflix documentary. But I just think there was a lot of things in this second investigation. So when Teresa, she worked for Auto Trader, I know some of you who are a little seasoned and older like me remember Auto Trader, and you could buy a used car or you can do that. Well, someone would come out and take a picture of your car. This was before the internet. I know. What? I'm too young. I'm not. Where they come out and then they would put it in the next month's print and you would pay for a little ad. It's kind of like a classified. So she was going out there. Good, Parawolf. I'm glad you do that. So you got Auto Trader. She had gone out and that's the kind of job that she did. Well, she had gone missing and later on they had found that her car was in their Avery Auto Salvage car lot where it was, I forgot how many cars, thousands and thousands of cars. And he was convicted of her murder. And so the whole thing with this documentary is, excuse me, he was wrongly convicted. So, you know, you got to see a lot of how the prosecutor was with the case. You got to see how they kind of even brought in the nephew. Now, mind you, both of these gentlemen, both Steven Avery, both his nephew, have really low IQs. I'm not saying that as a dig. I'm saying that because it's just a fact. They weren't the smartest guys. I think especially the nephew, you could tell really where he was coerced with his testimony against his uncle. And they were just trying to corroborate. And I think that they had some good evidence. I just think that it wasn't a reasonable doubt. And I think they kind of brought in the nephew to kind of corroborate that so that they would get that conviction. Something that interesting happened this weekend, and I think Trek Lord, I have you to thank for that. And that is, and if I'm wrong, correct me, please. But Fox News, Judge Jeanine did a special on that of kind of what her thoughts were with the Steven Avery case. She brought in some of the sheriff in that county, the prosecutor, talking about things that really weren't discussed in that documentary. So, sorry, I'm reading your guys' comments to make sure I'm not missing anything. And so she did that when what was really kind of odd with her special was everyone that she talked to. So first she talks to another attorney who says he needs a new trial. The way things went down, the way search warrants were gotten by the county, at the time they were being sued by Steven Avery because for $36 million because he was wrongfully in prison for 18 years. And now they've kind of really got into this next case, and they really shouldn't have been in it. And basically, a lot of things were kind of twisted around, and they shouldn't have been in it. And Steven really deserves another case. And when she interviewed the prosecutor, when she interviewed the sheriff, things that I thought were interesting that I'm going to give a little props to was, you know, they talked a lot about the blood evidence. They talked a lot about, I forgot what that chemical is in the blood, so it wouldn't coagulate, and there was no test for it, but magically the FBI came out with a test, tested it, there was none of that chemical in it, so there's no way that blood in her car could be planted because of the chemical in there. But what I thought was also interesting is that Steven had a little cut that they showed on his finger, on his left finger, his left hand finger. I forgot what this finger is called, index finger, whatever. Anyway, what I thought was interesting about that is that the blood evidence was right by the ignition, right? In Teresa's, in her car, in her SUV. And I know that if I'm going to reach for keys, I'm going to use my right hand, whether I'm ambidextrous or not, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use my right hand. The cut was on the left hand. So I don't know if it's natural. It's not natural for me. I don't know if it's natural for you guys to kind of turn your hand to grab the keys. Maybe if he was behind it, I'm not sure. Anyway, it seemed like a very odd position for that to be in. They talked about Teresa's blood being in the back seat, which I think it was definitely. She was put in there for a while for them to decide what they were going to do with the body. But again, I didn't see. But the thing that they brought up was the DNA from the sweat, and that is something we didn't see from from the documentary. So that was interesting. It was under the hood of the car. It still doesn't really mean anything to me. We also learned too from her special that she wasn't out there just one time. For some reason, I think I'm under the impression that she was out there on her way out to take a picture of the car or to do something. Now we know that she did take a picture of the car, the sister-in-law's van. It did a really good job. They sold it, and they wanted Teresa to come back out and take more pictures of other vehicles, is what we're hearing from this Fox special. And so we also learned that Teresa thought that Stephen was a little creepy. We also learned that Stephen at one time had greeted her with just a towel on and nothing else. But everyone knew where she was going that day. A lot of interesting facts. I don't think sweat under the hood necessarily says you're a murderer because, she could have needed a jump. I don't know. Is it hot in Wisconsin? I forgot what time of the year it was. We don't know. We don't know what's going on with that. Oh my gosh, you guys are just going crazy in the chat room. I don't know. I don't think, with everything that had happened, with everything that she talked about, what was really shocking was the way her special laid out, and then to hear her closing thoughts were so different than what I had heard from her special. And I want to know what you guys thought of it. I know we've got a guest in here. We've got Devin, 1984. Oh my gosh, that better not be a birthday. Let's bring Devin on and see what he thinks. We are connecting. I feel like one of those news things where you're talking to the people, right?
Fierce, darling, okay? Fierce,
hey,
honey.
Devin. Can you hear me?
Okay, you're fabulous, honey. You're fabulous. Oh. You're fabulous, darling. Yeah. You're fabulous.
I love your
darling.
You
are fabulous. Oh, spoiler alert! There is a new Housewives coming to January 19th.
To what, girl? You're breaking up.
Spoiler. Yes, I knew. I was like, oh my god, I have to tell this.
Let me put my other one in.
It is a new season of all the shows, Hunty.
So are you watching the Avery stuff? Have you watched the Netflix documentary?
No, I haven't. No, but I've heard. I've heard little bits and pieces of it, yes.
Girl, you gotta watch it.
I'm sorry, I swear to God, yeah. Yes. But I will say this, is that there's new Housewives coming to Slice. New season, new bitches.
Is it the Vancouver ones?
No. This is gonna be a whole new city. This is gonna be a whole new city, whole new cast.
Gotcha. So well, our Bravo show's on Wednesday, girl.
Oh, darling, love it.
Sorry, Devin. I can barely hear you. You're lagging, girl. I know that Pontiac is coming anyway. Bravo's on Wednesday. Come on, sister. I know it's a new schedule. Our Bravo shows used to be at this time, but we're talking everything Stephen Avery. So, Devin, watch the series. Talk to me later. Love it. So, she does this thing. She talks to everyone. She talks about the sweat, the sweat DNA that can't be transferred. It only has to be laid there, I guess, by the person. So that's something that we learned that wasn't in the documentary. That made me think about it a little bit. Absolutely. I'm not buying the FBI thing with the test. I think it's crazy. I personally have worked for big companies like Microsoft and Amazon, and when they want to do any kind of software testing, it takes months. Like, it's not easy to just be like, there's a test. Let's do it. Nope. There's not a trace of that in there, and I get why the FBI would kind of want to do that. I think it's really interesting that if we start to lose faith in our judicial system, that it kind of will fall apart. And then what do we got? We got anarchy, and everyone's, going crazy. I don't know. I just don't think that there's a reasonable doubt. I don't think that Judge Jeanine really proved that. She talked about Stephen being obsessed with her. I don't think he was obsessed with her. Listen, this guy is a guy from a small town with a low IQ who sees a pretty girl, okay? And, everybody was saying that, the real victim is Teresa. I think there's several victims in this whole thing. I don't think Teresa is just the only victim. I think Stephen is the victim. Another thing that I thought was very interesting, on one of Judge Jeanine's guests, and I forgot his name, he was talking a lot about the evidence. He was also talking about the brothers and how their DNA, I forgot the word that they use. Do you guys know what the word is? Yeah. So like their DNA or something was really close. I don't know. I thought about inbreds. I don't know. Like cousins, brothers, cousins, aunts. Their DNA was very similar. Another thing that we learned from this special that we didn't know is that it was for sure that, unfortunately, Teresa's body was burned on the property. That there was the guy that she was talking to said that the fire was hot enough. It wasn't where the bones were found behind Stephen's trailer, but that wasn't hot enough there, or broken pieces of her PDA or cell phone or anything. But the fire pit on the property, I guess, where they also found bones at, and they did conclude her body was burned there. And also we learned about who's going to inherit the property. This is a huge property, and it's a huge business. And the business has been, and the Averys have done so good with it that I think a lot of what's happened, with everything, I think business has been down, but it's still there. So this is a big business. Who's going to inherit it? Stephen was up suing the county for $36 million. And, the brothers thought, you know what? They had a sexual past, sexual violence and all of that stuff. So they're not, the greatest of character of men. And, who's going to inherit everything? I think maybe they kind of framed him. I don't know. They talked about the nephew, and the mother said that he'd helped Stephen clean up the garage and got some bleach on his pants. I get it. You can use bleach to clean up DNA. Not that I've needed to, but I get that you can. Having bleach on your shorts doesn't mean you've been scrubbing and covering up DNA. It could mean you were bleaching your whites. I mean, we don't know. But I think the nephew is also another victim in this. And I just think at the end of the day, he needs a new trial. He definitely needs a new trial. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced with anything I've seen online. I'm not convinced with anything I have read so far or anything like that. Oh my gosh. Maximus' mom, you better not be tricking me up with this. All right. I feel bad. Yeah, for Pairwolf. I feel bad for Brendan too. I think he's a victim in this. I think he is, Stephen is, and of course Teresa is. It's an awful, awful situation. All right, we got our next guest. And it's, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Maximus' mom, 22. my other earbud in for maximum.
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
darling. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Great. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Hi.
Hi.
How's it
That's
going?
so cool. Oh, good.
I
I'm
know, right?
really enjoying your show because you turned me on to Making a Murderer and ended up watching it in less than 48 hours. It was
Yeah.
something else.
Isn't it just, I mean, it made me crazy. I wanted to, like, punch a
It
wall.
really
It was
did.
just, yeah.
I know. I can't believe that kind of crap is happening right now, and they're still in prison right now. And the nephew and his freaking poor mom, my heart is
know.
breaking. And his lawyer was so disgusting. His first lawyer was so disgusting. I just felt so bad, and I feel bad for the victim, of course, but to my personal opinion, they have to look a little more closer to the ex-boyfriend and the roommate.
Yeah.
They were never, he's the last one who saw her. One of the last one who saw her.
Yeah.
He
went out hunting.
was very
right?
angry
He
with
got done,
her.
He went out hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were never looked at, and I just don't understand why. Well, I do because.
Did you get a chance to watch the Judge Janine special?
No. What was
on
it?
Fox News? It was over
No,
the
I
weekend.
didn't.
I think you could put it on demand, where she interviews the prosecutor, she interviews the new sheriff, and they bring a little more information to the case, like the sweat DNA of Stephen underneath the hood of Teresa's car. They confirmed that the body was definitely burned in one of those fire pits.
Those containers.
But not the one. Yeah, but not the one in back of Stephen's trailer, but she was burned on the property. And then they did confirm that the brothers of Stephen Avery's DNA is very similar to Stephen's. I don't know if it's because they're cousins or kissing cousins, I don't know. But, and there's a lot of kind of jealousy of who's going to inherit the property.
Shut up, really? Okay, so I'm going to have to check it out.
And the brothers have cases where they've been prosecuted for, like, sexual assault of women, and there's a lot.
Ooh.
It gets a lot. Yeah.
Oh.
But at the
Can
end,
you imagine
Judge
his
Janine
own brother letting him rot in jail for 18 years? Can you imagine?
I think when the Avery's family, they were all close-knit. They really weren't part of the community. They weren't liked very much. And I think that they were all just, not the brightest and just kind of hillbillies and just, and I'm not saying that to be mean,
I get
but I'm
it.
just, such close-knit that
you.
they were just, what else am I going to get in this world? I want to get this inheritance, and I'm willing to kill you or frame you for it. I don't know. It's just, it's scary. It's scary.
That's sad. Oh gosh, that's so scary.
It's so scary.
Well, I'm glad I'm not one of those people. I hate to say it, but
No, we got to behave. I don't even want a traffic ticket or a parking ticket.
Yeah, exactly, right? I've never been in jail.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to meet you in person.
You too. I know you're like an hour and a half away from me. I'm in Washington too.
I was going to say you're in
Canadian
Washington,
border.
right?
Yeah, I'm in Linden by the Washington border. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean Canadian border. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. It's a
Absolutely.
great show. I'm glad you introduced me to it. It's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good talking to you.
Thank you. Love you too, John.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao. Oh my gosh. I think my favorite part is just being able to see your guys' faces. Miss Don Draper, when you calling in? I'm Michelle. Why am I talking Italian all of a sudden? I don't know. All right. So yes, so we definitely learned a lot. We did learn some stuff with Janine's thing. Her closing arguments, I don't necessarily agree with. She thinks that he did it. She thinks that he's guilty beyond reasonable doubt. I do not. I don't agree with the FBI tests. I don't agree with a lot of inconsistencies. Do I think something bad happened? Of course I do. Do I think maybe it happened on the property now? I kind of do. When I watched it, I actually watched it twice. I watched it by myself while my partner watched the Seahawks game, and then I watched it with him today just so I could, get anything I might have missed. So, I think some definitely. And do I think it is involved in that family? I do. Is that bad? If that's bad, I'm sorry. But as far as Steven Avery being proved reasonable doubt, I don't think so. I don't know if you guys have had a chance, but to kind of look online, look at some of the latest gossip with Steven Avery. But his companion, Sandy Greenman, who we saw in the documentary, kind of the older lady that was eventually became his fiance, they are now not engaged anymore. They're kind of friends or close friends, but she's told People magazine that their relationship kind of fizzled out because he's in prison for life, and she just doesn't see how that's going to work with that, which I kind of agree. So that was a little shocking with that. We also learned, too, that Steven now has a new legal defense team. Let me pop up in that article from People right now and get some of the details. His new lawyer, my mouse is scrolling everywhere, is Kathleen Zellner, Zellner, who announced Friday that her firm has assumed the Avery representation along with Trista Bushnell, the legal director of the Midwest Innocence Project. So the Midwest Innocence Project is also on it too. We also learned too that someone started a petition for Steven Avery, and I think there's over 129,000 signatures. Miss Don Draper, keep me honest, girl. Enough signatures for President Obama to respond and say, there's nothing I can do. This is not a federal case. I can't pardon. This is a state case. If it was a federal, he could. Yeah, got all the way to the White House, and they did respond. Thank you, Ms. Don Draper. And you're right, Parawolf, the governor said he was not going to pardon either Brandon or Steven. That is also true. I don't know if maybe we don't know everything. I was really hoping that Judge Janine's special on Fox News would have given us more information. It did give us more, not enough for beyond a reasonable doubt, but a little bit more. I really wish, I don't know if we don't know all the evidence. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if, that maybe the justice system kind of in that area knows that they messed up. They need the Federal Bureau of Investigation to back them up so that everything judicial-wise kind of stays intact and we don't fall apart and we don't lose faith in our judicial system. I don't know what's going on. I think it's sad that this is an example of it. Randy Hill says Fox News is not fair and balanced. I agree. I never watch Fox News. MSNBC didn't have anything like this that I was aware of. So, definitely not. Yeah, I think it is. I think he just needs a new trial. I think all of us, and correct me if I'm wrong, if he gets a new trial and he's convicted and it's played out publicly, kind of like the O.J. Simpson trial, you know, we could hear everything and make our own conclusions and everything. I think that would be better. I don't know. I never heard of Stephen Avery until this, and I don't know. RJM says Nancy Grace says he is guilty. Well, I think Nancy's guilty of jumping the gun. Again, maybe she knows something we don't. Nancy Grace is an ex-lawyer, or yeah. Tax the money down the drain. Who's paying? Says Giselle for a new trial. True that. Maybe if we win the Powerball, Giselle, we can afford a new trial. I don't know. I think he needs a new trial would kind of zip our mouths a little bit. I know it would at least mine if he had another one. I just don't think that that's very fair, especially to the nephew, It just, he wasn't even out of high school and this has happened to him, and to sit there and see him just, you know, and when I talk about a low IQ, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to do anything like Eric would be. I'm just trying to say these are the facts. And even somebody with a high IQ in that situation where they're constantly being battered and sitting in hours in a holding tank and anybody would kind of crack a little bit. I mean, we've heard people doing all kinds of weird stuff. What's her name? I forgot, from Washington, who lived in Italy, Amanda Knox, who's from Washington. And they were saying that she was doing cartwheels and she wasn't taking her depositions very seriously. And we found out later that hours and hours and hours later, she had been sitting there and she was doing that to kind of stretch her body because her legs were aching and she was just, you know, wasn't being mobile enough. So her body she needed to stretch it out. So it wasn't exactly that she wasn't taking it seriously. It's just that she'd been just badgered at her deposition for hours and hours. And I can't imagine someone like the nephew Brendan who did that. And it breaks my heart. It really does. It really does. The fact that they got him to say that he was there. He helped tie up Teresa. He saw Stephen, you know, slice her neck open. Yet in the bedroom, there wasn't a drop of blood anywhere. And we saw how much crap was in that bedroom. like you can't, I'm sorry. Like, I look at blood like even, I don't know why I'm in an Italian mood. Like even with olive oil, or you know what I mean? Like it gets everywhere. It's just, you can't do it. And if Stephen was going to slice her neck and take that much time to clean up all the blood, why didn't he get rid of the car? Why didn't he compact the car? They had one of those smash the car machines. I don't know what they're called. He didn't take the time to do that. Judge Dean says, oh, you know, only his DNA was on the keys because he wiped Teresa's off. And while he was wiping off her DNA, he forgot to wipe off his own, and that's why his DNA are on the keys. Well, you know, Judge Janine, that doesn't make any sense either. Because if I was wiping off all the DNA because I didn't want to get caught, why would I do that to get caught? That doesn't make any sense. What was another thing? I think it's really interesting with the brothers, and I agree with Maximus' mom. I think it's really interesting with the boyfriend. Everybody seems a little shady. I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about Wisconsin, because but the whole thing just seems very odd. And I think it's sad that, you know, they're not very social, you know, with family and really a part of the community. And it really kind of shows you got to be a part of your community, people. If you don't get involved, stuff can happen. Shit can happen, people. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. All right. Let me look at some of the comments. Team Ava jurors volunteered for the County Sheriff's Department during the trial, had a son who worked. Yeah, that's very suspicious, Ms. Wendy. He definitely. Some of the jurors were volunteers with the sheriff department and were related to. It was a mixed mash of stuff. And I hope you agree with me. And if you don't, that's okay too. That if he had a fair legal trial that we could all witness, hear all the evidence, I think we would all zip it with all of this, right? With everything, our petitions. Tess McLean says, Giselle, okay, thank you. I believe that both Fox and the Innocence Project both have ulterior motives. Okay. Summer Girl says, I need advice. What do you need advice about, Summer Girl? But the advice I'm giving you with the Stephen Avery is be a part of your community. don't live in silence. You get framed for murder. John, that's what I was saying. Leave her in the car and crush the car and hide it. I know, Parawolf. I know. If he was so smart with the bleach and in the garage and scrubbing everything up, why wasn't he smart with that? If he was smart, you know what I mean? If that's smart, or cleaning up the room smart, wherever she was killed, and now we learned later she didn't have her throat slit, that the autopsy said that she was shot in the head. You know, but where's that blood? And if it was in the garage, it was cleaned up with bleach. But then what? We leave the pit or whatever the thing that her body was burned in. That's left on the property. Oh, let's leave the car and throw a few branches on it. That's left on the property. Doesn't make any sense. You would think that, you know, you could get rid of the evidence having an auto junkyard. Augie says, yes, his siblings have the same DNA, says Brady. Yes, he does. Lisa D. Ginger Snap says, let me just say, if I take you out, no one will find any part of you or evidence. That's what I want in my killers, okay? Lisa D. And same with me, okay? We could double date. No, I'm kidding. But no, I mean, we're going to, you know, and maybe, I don't know, maybe because our IQ is a little higher. I don't know. I don't even think it has to do with IQ. I just think that if you're smart enough to scrub your garage floor with bleach, you're smart enough to get rid of the car. Summer Girl says, didn't want to be friends. Should I tell that friend? Okay, Summer Girl, you said you need advice, and we are number 1 in trending in advice. Sorry, I'm just, I'm clapping stuff. If you don't want to be friends with someone, should you tell that friend? Well, if you don't want to be friends, I think you should tell them why. I think you should give that person a chance to, you know, sit there and say, listen, you're a great person. We have nothing in common. I don't know what the situation is, Summer Girl. I told you the thing before. Look at the other thing. Can you help? No, but look at the other thing. It's not me. Summer Girl, if your friends are fighting, stay out of it. I am sick and twisted, says Summer Girl. If you're absolutely stay out of it. If I've got Summer Girl friends that can't decide who your other friends are. Shelly T says, absolutely. And I'm going to say that out loud. Yes. And especially if you've got friends that are fighting. If you've got 2 friends that are fighting, good friends, stay out of it. It's none of your business. It's not a battle. You have to win. So I have 2 best friends, and one of them is mad at the other one. And the one of my best friends is telling me to tell the one she's fighting with what she said. No, you're not a messenger, Summer Girl. Stay out of it. You tell both friends that are fighting, I love you both. You need to figure it out. We're grown-ups. That's what you need to do. I stay out of my friends' fights. I don't do that stuff. I don't get involved because the last thing you want to do is get in a situation where you said something by accident, tried to make a joke that didn't sound funny, and now all of a sudden you've said something you didn't mean, and then that friend is going to take it the wrong way and drag you in it. You don't need to be in it. It's not a battle you need to win. So how many of us think that the uncle did it? Maximus' mom. I think the uncle, I think brothers, someone in the Avery family wanted Stephen gone, and they've succeeded. Absolutely. And I think somebody maybe even tipped off that maybe the nephew Brendan had something to do with it, and then they drug him in and forced a confession out of him. So it made the evidence they had with Stephen Avery even seem better and corroborated. And now there's no reasonable doubt. That's what I think kind of what happened. Oh, I had a guest and now I don't have a guest. Summer Girl says, "You're awesome." Me and everyone else in the chat room. Summer Girl, stay out because they will make up and you, yep. And that's the last thing you want, Summer Girl. You don't want to get caught saying something you didn't mean and having them have them resolve their fight and have you be on the outs. Absolutely, that can happen. So our advice in the chat room and from Comedy Jonah is stay out. And Summer Girl says, that's what my mom says. Listen to your mom, Summer Girl. She sounds like a smart woman. All right, so that's the Stephen Avery. Anything else? You guys are so awesome. This is so much fun. I really appreciate everything. You guys we're almost at 1,500 likes. You guys are awesome. Spring Girls, you're fantastic. 115 bars. Thank you so much. Randy Hill, 95. You are so wonderful. John, how come the mattress and the walls and the bed frame weren't found with her blood if it was so violent? I absolutely agree with you, Parawolf. That's what was weird. And I think that any time a confession is kind of enforced, you know, and it's really not admissible in court, but then I don't think they did introduce that in court. I just think that they had the whole blood thing. How about Leo looked at Gaga last night when she bumped into him? Tess McLean says, that is so funny. That was totally trending. I don't know if it was a dig or not, because I loved what Leo said in his speech about Indigenous people, because my people are Indigenous as well. I look very white. This camera makes me look super white. Especially you can see this big old pimple on my nose right here. But I'm a registered Native American Indian. I loved what he said. I'm glad that Gaga won. I thought she did a great job. I think Gaga did a good job. I don't know if it was a great job. I liked American Horror Story. I loved her take on it, as far as how she did with her acting, but it was good. I don't know if it was great. I was happy for her. I don't think Leo's fate, I think it was just kind of like, oh, well, excuse me, kind of thing, like bump. Did anyone read about the man in the neighboring town whose wife told the police about his suspicious activity? Augie33 says, I did not. Maximus Mom says, Gaga winning was my favorite moment. Mine, it was one of my favorite moments, too. I didn't hear about the neighboring town. Oh, remember, her cell phone messages were checked and erased after she was dead. Who did that? I think her ex-boyfriend is fishy, Miss Don Draper says. So many things. You know what else I thought was kind of weird? And, you know, I don't mean this against Teresa at all, but the videotape that they showed about her laying there on the couch and, you know, if I die, if I was killed one day, and I just want everyone to know how happy I am, and I'm just, you know, love my family. That's kind of an odd videotape to make, don't you think? I want to know in the chat room, excuse me, if you've ever, the video at the beginning, that was creepy. Yeah. Have you ever made a tape like that? And if so, have you ever talked about that? I've never once, in all the tapings and all the shows and all the stuff I've done, stand up, reality recaps, everything, you know, I just want everyone, I don't know. I mean, some part of me thought about maybe suicide. I don't know, you know. if it was kind of, instead of writing your last thoughts before you commit suicide, maybe it was a video. I don't know. I thought it was just the videotape of Teresa, and I don't know if she had videotaped it by herself or if somebody was doing it on her. I don't know. I just thought it was very odd. I thought somebody was taping it because it kind of looked like she was talking to someone with the camera on. Which, I don't know. It's just very odd. It is. I'm sick and twisted. I would never make a videotape like that. It's very odd. It is, and you're sick and twisted, and you think it's very odd. I'm just kidding. I know. I've never said that stuff, especially didn't make a video, said Squeezy. Yes, I know. It's just very odd. So there's a lot of odd things in this case. And I think that if they do another trial, let's just do it. Let's get it done. Let's retry him. Definitely. I just think that if Judge Jeanine, because I'm not saying that she's not a smart judge. I'm not even talking Nancy Grace, or whether she's smart or not too. I don't know if they think he's guilty with a reasonable doubt because they just have all the information and we don't as a society. I don't know. But what I'm hearing, I don't know. John, didn't she disappear like 5 days after the sheriffs was getting their trail? John, did you hear about the Anonymous was taking over the murder? I did hear that, Maximus mom. Parawolf, I think it was. I think you're absolutely right. But I mean, back to my thought, I don't know. I just think maybe they have more information that we don't. I don't know. Maybe they're not, and they're just one-sided as well. I just thought it was funny that Judge Jeanine thought the documentary was one-sided, and I thought her show was one-sided, her special. So I learned some things, but it really shocked me at the end. And I think that you need to look it up, and I think it's guilty or not, Stephen Avery, guilty or not. Look it up on your DVRs or on your on-demand. It's very interesting. Did they prove how the cop got her plate number days before her car was found? They didn't. It was odd. I just, I can't remember if they did or not. I'm still so stuck that the car was not destroyed on the property of an auto salvage yard that there's so many mistakes that the killer did. Stephen Avery supposedly did. The prosecutor reminded me of Jack Black as Bernie. Bernie is great in the movie on Netflix. Yes. Another thing that's coming to FX is the OJ trial, the People vs. OJ. And it's coming, I think it's next month. And I'm excited for that too, because I watched the Bronco chase and all of that stuff. And I didn't watch, I think my mother was watching it 24/7 at home, watching the whole trial. But yeah, I cannot wait for that. John, I think it's her brother that was talking with her mom in the first 3 episodes that killed Teresa because he has a lot of sexual assault crimes. There's a lot of people, Parawolf, that have a lot of sexual assault crimes of the people around all the victims, right? Like Judge Jeanine says, oh, Stephen did it because he, had a cat and threw it in the fire and it was animal cruelty. Again, I don't think Stephen he's not the brightest person. I don't know if he's someone I would hang around with. Do I think he, did the cat thing? Yeah. Some people don't look at animals as living things, but just things. He had animal cruelty. They said that when Stephen was in prison that he talked about a torture room where he could torture women. We don't know what context that was in. But Judge Jeanine used that in her closing statement on her special, which I thought was ridiculous. So, I don't know. It's just crazy. Tess McClain says you must acquit. I think, or a retrial, at least. It was a fantastic documentary, Ms. Draper. Absolutely. Travolta as Robert Shapiro is going to suck. Says David. I don't know about that. We'll see. The suck because he's a Scientologist or what? That's a whole other thing, and I don't need to hear that. I moved from France to LA and saw the Bronco on the 405 freeway and had no clue who he was. Says Maximus Mom. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Well, in February, you get to catch up because I will be talking about the People vs. OJ, just like we're talking right here. So I can't wait for that. Super, super good time. Maybe, but Sarah Paulson will make up for it, says Breezy Babe. Absolutely. There's some good people in this cast. So funny. Maximus Mom, you were so funny. Moving from France and didn't know who that was. I know, Summer Girl. To even get us started again with David Bowie, girl. Okay, we're all so sad. Glad you're doing a fan show, John. Thank you so much. And I have had so much fun. So I want to know, tweet me at Comedy Jonah. Check out all of our stuff at yourrealityrecaps.com. Become a patron, because when you become a patron, we can give you more content and shows like this one, like Eric's fan show, like our Bravo show, all the blogs, all the content you see on our website. And when we do live streaming events that are coming soon this year. And if you become a patron, you get exclusive content and information about Your Reality Recaps and everyone involved in it. And you can do that at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. It could be $1. It doesn't have to be any amount. Any amount is fine. Also, too, if you don't have it, but you're doing some shopping, go to yourrealityrecaps.com. And on our page on the right-hand side, kind of towards the bottom, you'll see the Amazon square. Click on it. And if you're shopping at Amazon, start from our website, and a small percentage comes to us, and it costs you no more. Amazon does it on their own. Hey, John, I hate that I missed it. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have this site on, so follow me at Comedy Jonah on Twitter, on Facebook, on everything, and I will have the show uploaded. Also, a big thing I need... Oh, Summer Girl. Summer Girl. Also, a big thing I need, like my mom sometimes drinks, and I get into big fights. If she drinks and she's not happy when she drinks, walk away. Go into another room. Okay? Remember, it takes two to get into a fight, into a verbal argument. So if you remove yourself from, that's the other finger. If you remove yourself from the equation, you've got only one person to fight with, and that's yourself. All right. Thank you so much, Maximus Mom. It was so great meeting you. Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun. You guys are so awesome. Don't forget Wednesday, we're back. Eric and I are back. We're talking Bravo, and we're talking anything else you want to do. Become a patron. We share small little videos. You can see videos of me working out. Eric's making his bath balls. I'm going to start posting stuff I'm making and cooking, so you'll get exclusive content like that. Plus, it helps us out. It brings us more content like this. And then I'm back next Monday for my fan show. So between then and now, let me know what we want to talk about. What are our subjects? You guys are great. I love you. Mwah. A big kiss to all of you. And until Wednesday. See you then. Bye, guys. Mwah.